Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, audience. You're tuned in Newcastle Fox FM, and this is
Echo, bro. There's an echo, bro.
Let me sort that out.
What an opening. What an opening.
Hold on a second. When you look
Introduction.
in the left-hand corner there, did you actually realise you haven't got your headphones on?
Here it is. No, it's not even that. But it plugged into the TV, and the TV was playing in the background.
Your mic is so bad. What's wrong?
No, I think it's a little. Yeah, it's gone. I don't know what you've done there.
Are you using the carrot or something? It's so bad.
What happened?
Your mic is so bad.
I'm using my laptop, man.
Where's your mic?
In the laptop.
Sorry, I'm using a different laptop.
How unprofessional is this? What do you call this?
Very.
What kind of laptop you got?
Huh?
What kind of laptop?
You don't even get me started, bro.
All right. What do you mean? What is it like? Some next super duper laptop or something? Next generation?
So, 100 quid, 5-year-old.
Oh, that explains it all.
Compact,
That explains it all, mate. You're just
sorry.
a nasty, typical Pakistani, mate. That's all you are, mate.
Alhamdulillah. That's a
Typical.
very accurate description.
When you see something for £2, no, I gotta look for £1. See something for £1, no, I gotta look for 50 pence. You know what I mean? That's what you are, mate. You always will.
You know me very well.
I do the same
Maybe you
thing.
get my wife.
Not, you don't look at quality, quantity.
I do exactly the same thing.
For
That's
Pakistan.
what I'm
Are you really setting up right now while we're just about to start the show?
Hang on a minute. It's just gone to pot, hasn't it? So I'm fixing it all out.
Apologies for this.
If you didn't spend £100 on that laptop, yeah, and got a nice little Dell machine, yeah, you probably would have been nice and clear, mate.
Show us the laptop.
I wish I could. It's hello. How's that?
It's the same, bro.
Anyway, what's the topic?
Hear me?
No, yeah, I've
It's
lost you.
gone
completely.
worse. It's gone worse.
Plug in.
Days. Can you not hear me?
I can hear you, but it's really quiet.
Hold on.
Volume up mine.
That's better.
Is it
That's
really
better.
quiet?
That's better.
There you go. There you go.
How about now?
It
all
has
right.
to be a minute.
All right,
That's
listen.
only like because it's a cheap.
Wa alaikum salam wa
That's it.
rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sister Salwa, we are live on Newcastle Fast FM for the Real Talk podcast. It's Real Talk. So we've been choosing different topics to talk about. We've been covering different topics, and today's topic is, I can hear an echo or something in the background. One of you guys is. All right, why is Omar gone off?
I don't know.
That's better though. Yeah. So our topic of today, which is something that we need Omar on, to be honest with you, because Omar's got a lot to say on this topic. There we go. It's the Illuminati, right? The Illuminati or Illuminati. Right. First of all, guys, let me ask this question. Yeah, why have we chose this topic?
Okay, so look. First of all, I want to say we're not a bunch of tin heads sitting here throwing out conspiracies. Okay. So look, the Illuminati. It is a lot of theory. Okay, there's not that much concrete evidence, but it does tie in with what's happening around the world. There's a lot of historical, information that goes along with it. It connects in with the Freemasons that are happening right now, which is a real thing, which people may not know about. Remember that time, Sil, we went to that Freemason hall?
Freemasons are known, but I mean, look, yeah. So what are we trying to say exactly? Are we trying to say?
Open your minds. Don't just be blind followers. Have a bit of nuance. Take everything with a pinch of salt, but don't be extreme either. That's what I want to.
Okay.
Across.
So
Omar,
let's just...
Omar, what you said?
I don't know. I just looked at your Buddha, mate, and your Buddha just froze, mate. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just saying what you're saying. I'm asking you a question. What's wrong with you? Woke up on the wrong side of the bed. You today?
These two have been bickering all week, right? I don't know what is going on. Okay, let me just clarify a few things. Let's go through a few things, right? What is the Illuminati?
conspiracy, isn't it?
So it's all about these conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
You could say conspiracy theories, secret society, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Is there truth in it? Is it all, a bunch of made up stuff? Are people exaggerating? Are people paranoid? I don't know, bro. What are you guys thinking?
Yeah, so basically, bro, I think it's a mix of both, personally. I think it's a mix of made up stuff along with. I think what I don't like is when people laugh about it and say, "Oh yeah, these conspiracy theories, it's a laughable thing," because it always comes out later that some of these conspiracy theories were actually true. It's just that they were covered up for a very long time, 50 years, 100
Give
years.
me an example of conspiracy theories that you're talking about.
Yeah, okay. So, for example, Freemasonry, just in itself, it was always covered up. It was never out in the open and things like that until very recently, when it just became more and more prevalent that it was there, and they couldn't avoid the fact that it was there. So now it went mainstream. Now you can donate to the Freemasonry Society as a charity now if you want.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they're a secret society and that they're hell bent on the New World Order and all the rest of it that people associate with them.
That's right. It doesn't. But the point was, it was beforehand. It was before they came out. Okay, that they were said to be that. Now they've come out, for example, and they've come out in a soft way. Oh, look, we're just here as a connection point for businessmen and women to connect, network, okay, and build their careers and businesses and things like that. And you can donate to us. We're a charity.
So here's what I don't get, right? Is why is it that Muslims seem to be the one that jump on this whole Illuminati thing more than anyone else?
Umar, what do you think?
Yeah, it's very interesting things that you've said. Me personally, I think Masons haven't kept a secret. Personally, I think they've always been there. They always it started off as a very small group, and then obviously as people wanted to know what Masonry was, what their interest and what the background was, I think more and more people just wanted to be part of it more than anything else. There's nothing elite about them. Well, apart from them just being together and working together, and just basically trying to become the elite of men and women of today in society. And coming back to Illuminati, why is it such a big hype with Muslims? I think personally, the Muslims themselves need to look at themselves and look at how they're taking that information. First of all, it's emotions in it. When they say, "Oh, look at these signs and these symbols that are shown on, for example, on certain mainstream media or all that sort of stuff," and it says, "Oh, well, look, this is all true." Don't get us wrong, it's interesting, but I don't think this gives us, okay, let's say, for example, if such a society does exist, what's the outcome of it, man? What are you doing out of it? Oh, well, these people are this and that. If you've got the time of spending 4 to 5 hours, sometimes even days, or I think there's a full series of rivals going on YouTube at the moment, where people spend days and weeks listening to it and watching it. Bro, you're wasting your time, man. Or the sisters wasting your time. You can spend 4 to 5 hours sitting there watching some bakwas, on YouTube, and you can't even open up the Quran and tell you what your creator's telling you. Or even pick up a hadith and tell what the Prophet ﷺ taught us. At the end of the day, how I look at it is this whole Illuminati business. It's all, what it's called? It's Killuminati, bro. It's not Illuminati. It's Killuminati, bro. I'm going to kill it today. You understand? That's what we're going to do. We're going to kill Illuminati today, right? I'm tired of this. It doesn't exist. It's called Killuminati. We're finishing it off tonight, inshallah, right?
Go on, then.
Basically, listen, Illuminati itself, right? First of all, who give you the approval, of basically, first of all, going around and first of all, who was comfortable to come and talk to about it to you more than anything else? That out of everybody in the world, they've come to talk to you about, oh, have you seen this? Look, they're doing this, they're plotting this, and they're plotting X, Y, and Z. First of all, why were they so comfortable in explaining that to you? And two, maybe you just look dumb and you'll fall into anything, or you just, somebody who's got nothing else to do. Oh yeah, I'll show you something. that could be an interest. But look, at the end of the day, if we can't act upon this, this Illuminati business, this chain, whatever's been going, it's been going on for years. And if something dodgy was to happen, I'm sure by now, with all the technology, all these hackers and all these guys who are involved would have exploited them by now. Yeah, come on, man. If what's he called? What are those pedophiles called, man? The famous pedophile.
Something. Pedophile hunter or something.
No, pedophile hunters. They can not just pedophile hunters, man. You know what's he called, man? It's gonna do my head in.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah. All these guys, man. All these same stuff, bro. They've all been, bro. They're
Jimmy Savile.
in the place. Huh?
Jimmy Savile.
Thank you as well. All these guys, Look, they were paid big money to be quiet back in the 90s, 70s, whatever the case may be. Now these people have come up now and said, no, hold on a second. I was, sexually harassed. Do you know what I mean? All that sort of stuff. Eventually, everything, no matter how long it takes, eventually everything gets revealed. The evidence is in this place, all that sort of stuff. Illuminati today, you've got no evidence, bro. There is no evidence. Yes, you can make assumptions. And, the Prophet ﷺ was warned about this as well. Spying and assuming and making assumptions. This is where you could go into major and personally, I think this is why we have deviations in Islam as well, because everybody has their own agenda. This is what I really believe. The truth is, it's an agenda. It's nothing to do with a certain high group or anything like that. I think it's to do with an agenda. When a person wants a specific agenda, they will destroy what is the truth and they'll enter falsehood with it. It's all a lie, bro, and it's to get you distracted by what? Distracted by you. Shaitan's ultimate goal is to distract you from remembering your creator.
So,
and all
Go on, carry on.
All this Illuminati business, talking about Kanye West or, a famous actor or Jay-Z. Bro, these could be guys who've earned a lot of money, who worked hard through their life. Listen, you're always going to get haters, and there's always going to be someone who will stand in front of them to say, I didn't get what he got, so I'm going to try to destroy it. I'm going to make some nonsense up, where people are not going to believe it, but I'll start this rumor, and eventually I'll get a majority following saying, you got it through this and you got it through that. Bro, this is a guy, who's basically making money, investing in a few businesses, and alhamdulillah, Allah's blessed him. And Muslims need to really listen, if there was such thing as an Illuminati, don't you think our Prophet, peace be upon him, would have mentioned this? If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right, this is something that fascinates me the most, right? I always reflect upon it. I don't know why. Maybe inshallah Allah will shed more light into it in the future. But this is what reflects about, Musa alayhi salam, no Fir'aun. If there was anyone who come to anywhere near as Illuminati, right, would be Fir'aun himself, Ramses II, Ramses II believed himself that he was a god, These guys are watching these stupid things on YouTube, They're claiming to be godlike, and the next Pharaoh himself, Ramses II, believed he was the creator, he was God himself, and he made people to worship him. And if he didn't, he tortured them and killed them to such an extent that the mother of believers, Asiya, he tortured his own wife, bro, and killed, and what happened? He had a dream. Look at this. This is Allah's plan. This is honestly beautiful when you look at it. To us, it's stories, but this is actually what happened, man. Pharaoh had a dream that a child will be born, and his whole city was in fire. So when he went to an interpreter, says that a child will be born from amongst the Bani Israel, and he will dethrone your kingdom. And what did he say? This is easy to solve. Every male child that is born in Israel, will just kill him. What happened when Musa alayhi salam was born? He was put in the Moses basket, and Angel Jibreel, bro, we don't even talk about this. I'm telling you, Angel Jibreel came down to the mother Musa, said, don't worry, put your baby in this basket, and Allah will play his course. That baby, that very own baby, was right in the hands of the enemy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Born, raised, fed, right, matured, right to the very top. until Musa alayhi salam did something and he ran away. And then what happened? He met Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Musa alayhi salam was given the beautiful gift, yeah? He was given the gift of where he can communicate to Allah directly. There was no veil. He could speak, Allah would speak back. That's beautiful, man. Imagine speaking to your creator, man, without any, anyway, cutting the story short, Allah says, go to Pharaoh and warn him about that there is a creator, and he, and punishes. And look, the whole concept of this is that, look, if Allah has decreed something upon you, yeah, if Allah has afflicted harm, yeah, no one, yeah, Markallah, man. And Allah makes a promise, and if Allah has inflicted harm against you, no one can remove that harm, yeah, except by Allah's permission. And if Allah has given you protection, the whole world can come against you, yeah. But because you're under the protection of Allah, no one's going to touch you. And this is what we need to understand, man. All this Illuminati business and all that concept that comes in place, and this illusion, this delusion and stuff. Look, Allah is the plan. People had plans for 2020, bro. We're locked down in our house. Allah's saying, sit down, be a good boy, slap yourselves. Yeah, I'm not saying Allah says this, COVID. I'm just saying, innit? Look, you know what I mean? But, look, we're sitting on our house, bro. People had plans for 2020.
Yeah.
But Allah's teaching us, come back to Him.
Yeah.
Believe in Him. Trust His process. And Allah will open up that door for you. You just have to become like Musa alayhi salam, and you need to become like Isa alayhi salam or the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Allah will open doors like He did for them. Allah split the ocean up for Musa alayhi salam. Yeah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved the torment of Jesus being crucified. For you Christians out there who believe Jesus crucified, we believe as Muslims, Allah saved him from that torment. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took Jesus, Isa alayhi salam, from that punishment. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, at the time when an enemy came with a sword and said to him, "Who will save you now from me, from killing you?" When he was resting behind a rock, I believe it was, or behind a wall, wasn't it? Something like that. Yeah. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Allah," and he dropped his sword right there and then. Then Muhammad says, "Now who's going to protect you against me from what Allah's ordained for me?" Bro, you just have to have full yaqeen in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and watch He'll open doors for you, yeah, that you could never imagine, man. Stop this nonsense of Illuminati, man. You know what I mean? It's just a disaster, man. People are wasting their energy and their time and their strength on something that is no benefit, man. There's no benefit. Yeah. And even if it was something, what are you doing about it? What can you do about it? You're not doing nothing about it. But you can't do something about your master, being connected with your master. You can't do something being connected with your creator, what He's telling you to do. And one thing I want to really, I'm going on a bit, yeah. But one thing I want to really, really make it aware is, this whole part of this Illuminati business as well, and all this stuff, yeah. There will always be, Allah even said, there will always be enemies in Islam, yeah. There will. Right to the day of judgment, there are people on this earth. Allah didn't communicate to us. Open up the Quran and see for yourself. Allah says there's shaitan in people. There's the shaitan in people. Yeah, but that doesn't indicate that's Illuminati, bro. But Allah even says that in the Quran, it's not the message. It's not you as a prophet that they deny. They just don't like the message. That you've been with the Creator. Allah says there will be enemies upon this deen about, that, they don't want to acknowledge your Creator.
Yeah.
That's the honest truth.
Yeah.
But Allah says, but if you have faith in me, watch what I'll do for you, and I'll open doors for you. And that's what we do. Come back to the roots. When they say never forget your roots, your root is you're being born as a Muslim, yeah? Understand your roots and follow the roots and watch how you walk, on the ocean, mate, rather than just swim, mate. Anyway, that's my rant over with, yeah?
No, bro. I appreciate that. That was quite insightful, bro.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
Let me go back a little bit, yeah? So I remember back in, is it 90s? Right? The 90s, right? Good old days, right?
Cassettes and tapes.
They had cassettes, yeah? And there was a cassette. There was the cassette that was distributed. I've forgotten the name of it now, right? I remember it was called something along the lines of Into the Shadows. Do you remember it?
By who?
So this was, I don't know who it was by, right? So this was the first tape that came out about this issue, right? And it was directed towards Muslims, and it was all about the history of the Freemasons, Illuminati, conspiracy theories, all that kind of stuff. And they did it with the goal of showing, this is pre-Arrival days, by the way. The Arrivals came after this, right? But they did it to show how this was a lead up to people were putting these things together in lead up to the Dajjal, right? They're leading to a new world order or whatever I want to call it towards the Dajjal. But it was a weird tape, because what it did was it started going into how in popular culture, in pop culture, people were being accused of, and we have to say this is alleged because we don't know for sure, you know, people were being accused of being a part of this secret society. And what they did was they started showing like The Simpsons, and how The Simpsons was anti-government and, you know, all that kind of stuff, anti-authority, right? And the way like Bart Simpson was really anti-authority and that kind of stuff, and how they even called their father Homer and stuff like that. So they were accusing Simpsons of breaking down the family unit, and for people to copy them, so that was all towards the Dajjal, right? It was weird, right? But then they started going into like, there was one episode of The Simpsons where apparently Homer like he joins a secret society or something,
Right.
but like they were just talking about all these different clips, and then they started going into the music thing, right? And like how music is huge in relation to Illuminati, right?
Well,
and they talked about
backplaying stuff.
all that backtracking. Remember that, right? The backtracking stuff.
Yeah.
How like if you listen to the songs, and like if you listen to Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, it says there's no Allah and stuff like that.
Backwards,
it was weird how deep some people really went into this stuff. And you're sitting there scratching your head going, I can see a lot of people falling for this.
Forget that, bro.
I remember my brother gave me, bro. La Makala something, was it?
What?
Still going, bro. Turn it backwards.
So Coca-Cola, if you put it in a mirror backwards, it says La Baka or something like that, right?
Right.
So it was so, but people, you're laughing, bro, but people jumped on this. People jump on this stuff, man.
Yeah.
You think that people don't jump on this stuff? They jump on it massively, right? And you're like, I remember when my brother gave me the tape, he was like, just take it with a pinch of salt, right? Just listen to it, but take it with a pinch of salt, okay? And I was like, okay. And I was young at the time. I was like, oh my God. Simpsons.
But we were all like that, though, innit?
Bro, I was like, Simpsons are infiltrating. I was like, you gotta be careful who you talk to. You gotta be careful what you watch. Oh my God,
man.
Jay-Z. Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson
was a huge
Michael
one.
Jackson.
Michael Jackson was huge.
Michael Jackson,
like they were like, Michael Jackson is the devil. I was like, whoa, easy. It got so bad, right?
Yeah.
Now I don't know the truth behind it, the falsehood behind it. I like Disney. Remember the Lion King one? Some of them are real. Some of them are real. Let's not know. But to say that's all part of Illuminati and all part of a secret agenda, I just think it's people playing games, bro.
You know, speak of Michael Jackson, I'm not defending Michael Jackson by any chance here. You know, King of Pop right there. You know what I mean? MJ. You know what I mean? But look, you know, at the end of the day, you know, if you look at perfect example, you know, while he was alive, it says he was part of a secret society, all that sort of stuff, and then they try to frame him. Yeah, they try to frame him. A lot of people.
Who's they, bro? Who's they? That sounds Illuminati-ish, bro. Who's they?
The media and all that, they try to frame him, yeah? Okay. Yeah, by basically saying that, you know, he opened that, what's it called? Never ever land, whatever you want to call it, yeah? He had all that in place. And not only that, right? When he had that in place, they thought he was actually, you know, having, you know, relations with children and stuff, yeah?
Right.
To such an extent that obviously he ended up dying himself, yeah? Overdose with his drug and stuff. And then after his death and stuff, they made an announcement that actually no evidence was found that him actually having any relations with any young adults, you know. But you see, you know, it's going back with what last week talk was, yeah. You know, the media is so clever. First, what you do is you create a lie, Then when you create the lie, you build that lie. And you
Okay.
keep building a
Agree.
lie until people stop believing it.
Agree, but I mean, for all intents and purposes, we're not talking about the media because we know what the media are like, okay? But for people then to make a link, right, and go here, Illuminati, and then just go like that, it's weird, bro. It's weird how people do that. 5G,
people look at
5G is another big one. Look, 5G,
huh?
that 5G thing.
Oh, mate, I can't be bothered with this 5G.
But my point is, people are jumping on these conspiracy theories that there's a bigger agenda taking place. Let me just go back. 1 second. Let me just go back because I wanted to get back to the point on that tape, right? And that tape that my brother gave me back in the days, right? And I had listened to it, and it all went down to the popular culture and how it's all gearing towards a Dajjal. Right, and I remember distinctly. I remember other people that listened to this tape, right? And actually, no, this is when the Arrivals came out, right? And the Arrivals was another big one. That conspiracy theories. People jumped on the bandwagon of conspiracy theories from the Arrivals, and it was like, whoa, people.
It was actually one before, bro. Zeitgeist. I don't know.
Zeitgeist. Yes.
Zeitgeist was the one.
Zeitgeist is another one, but that was a bit more mainstream. That wasn't directly for Muslims.
It was shorter.
But it wasn't just Muslims that watched that, right?
It was Arrivals for Muslims though, because it talked a lot about other religions and
all I'm saying is whether it was Arrival, Zeitgeist, whatever the case may be, these guys made so much money out of fooling the public, bro. And you know what it is?
I don't know about that.
Look, let me give you a perfect example, right? Look at this new Netflix series that's come out. People are banging on about the Messiah, yeah. Bro, they kicked off so much, because they knew who to attack. Yeah?
Yeah.
They made so much money out of that, man. It's unbelievable.
I didn't watch it. I heard about it.
I've seen it.
I heard about it.
But coming back.
But I do think it's a very interesting show that shows just how easily people can be duped. Right?
TV the Dajjal,
people can be duped, bro. And you know what? I've seen, and if you think about it as well, I mean, we've seen how, like, have you seen these con artists, right? The long con, right? Where people have sold like the what's it called, that the Statue of Liberty and stuff like that. People have sold the Golden Gate Bridge, all these stuff, right? And like they've just conned people out of money because they're able to. People buy into it, right? People buy into this stuff. The Wolf of Wall Street. People buy into stuff, right? It's just Bitcoin. How you sell them it's how you sell them the dream, right?
Bitcoin.
It's how you sell them the dream.
They're not exactly buying into a dream, though, are they, Sohail?
A lot of times they are. Think about it. Like, I'm going to sell you the Empire State Building. You're going to own the Empire State Building. You're going to own the Statue of Liberty.
Believing in Illuminati and all this type of stuff. What do you not think people?
They do, bro. I think they do, bro. I think a lot of the time they think about it. When I was watching clips of that net and the Dajjal thing, right? And people told me the Messiah thing, and like people were saying how like people fell in, and people followed him, blindly because they felt that he was going to be the one to heal them.
He showed a few miracles. He showed a few miracles, quote unquote. And the thing, look, we said previously, I don't know who said it, but media is not a big thing. But in that, it showed that it was social media that spread it like wildfire.
Well, here's what I was coming to. Here's what I was alluding to.
Thank you, my friend.
Here's what I was alluding to. Back in the day, there was no social media. But remember those days, right? All you had was a Nokia 8210. All you could do was play Snake. You just play Snake, right? You couldn't do anything else with it.
Sirocco.
People had to dial up internet. You could do nout on the internet, right? Yeah. Literally nout on the internet, okay? It was those days, right? Now that's when people were running around with these conspiracy theories and these tapes that came out and all this stuff that came out. And with no social media, like, it was difficult to corroborate stuff. People couldn't get away with stuff. Like, and that's what I mean by, like, when back in those days, Freemasons was looked as, they are the secret society, they are the elite, they are the bad guys, whatever. But like, I mean, like, I don't know enough about, so I can't comment on what they are now, or all of that stuff. But
there's
now
actually on Netflix as well.
But what I'm saying is now, like, with social media, everything is out in the open. How it's difficult to start hiding people. And you know what? There are so many conspiracy theorists out there and they can't be silenced anymore, right? And like, they raise these false flags and all the rest of it. So it's just a bit of a weird situation right now as it stands. But I'm coming back to the point that I remember I was saying, when the arrivals and all that stuff came out, and I remember speaking to one bro, right? And this is really this is the crux of the whole thing. Because he was like, bro, have you seen the arrivals? I was like, no, I haven't seen it. But bro, listen, bro, you've got to watch the arrivals, man. Because that's the Dajjal. That's all about the Dajjal, man. The Dajjal's coming. That's like, bro, I knew this. I already knew this. I read the hadith about the Dajjal.
Yeah.
I was like, I've already read it. He goes, no. But you don't understand, bro. You've got to prepare for him. You've got to learn all about this stuff. So
people want to have that spiritual void, and they're filling it with this stuff.
So I was like, bro, do you know what to do when the Dajjal comes? Do you know how to protect yourself from him? And like, no, what do you mean? Like the hadith about Surah Al-Kahf. Have you read it? About the first 10 ayahs, the last 10 ayahs. Have you read the hadith about Surah Al-Kahf? And he's like, no. It's like, listen, bro. Forget about all your arrival business. Forget about all of this stuff. I mean, look, I'm not saying I'm anti-conspiracy theorist. I'm not. I mean, I do see that there are certain things out there. I'm not gonna lie. I do feel that there are, but not everything is a conspiracy. But at the same time, from the brothers and who are out there, the Muslims are out there, the sisters who are out there, and they get caught up in this whole Illuminati, the Dajjal, right? If that's such your worry, your worry is that the Dajjal's coming, if that's your worry, brothers and sisters, please learn about the Dajjal, learn about what the Prophet ﷺ said, learn about your Islamic tradition and how to protect yourself from this. And look, that's the key. Hold on.
Yeah. Let's not talk about too much of the Dajjal. I think we'll try to. Yeah, well, another show.
Okay, fine. But my point is, what I'm saying is, this is Ibrahim Goldsmith, right? My point is, right?
What have you prepared for a minute?
That's the point. The point is what exactly have you prepared? What exactly do you know about the Dajjal? Rather than sitting there going, bro, you need to learn arrivals, Messiah, and all that stuff. Bro, that's not gonna help you.
Yeah.
That's not gonna help you. I'm trying to, bro. Bro, that's it, bro. People nowadays, they think they're woke, mate.
Yeah, for real.
Disaster, bro, mate. It comes back to where it's unfortunate, and this is why it goes back to when we go back to our other shows again. Where it's a big parent responsibility, man. Today's kids, honestly, this is all set for the future generation. I think personally, the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, where the day of judgment will be very, very close. I mean, these are minor signs, man, which is amazing about it, is that when ignorance will prevail, and but so will knowledge, and I used to always think, how could ignorance prevail and so would knowledge? Because it can only be one or the other, right? Yeah. But when you look at it now, bro, yeah, subhanAllah, it is so true of the Prophet ﷺ 1400 years ago. For a man who couldn't read or write, made a statement saying ignorance will prevail, but knowledge will also prevail as well.
I don't know the hadith, to be honest with you. Is that offensive?
Yeah, it's basically the Prophet says ignorance will prevail, and the writing of the pen. So the writing of the pen could be something as your laptop as well, because obviously you can write in different formats, but it still refers to as the. So knowledge will prevail. I'll get you that hadith, inshallah, if I can find it. But when you look at it, if I look at it now, because I was like, hold on, I don't understand that. And I think I listened to something and it made perfect sense. Look, for us to study about the Quran and the Hadith, we won't look at that. But we look at these dumb things, like these donkey faces of arrivals, and all that sort of stuff, gives us no knowledge about what Islam teaches. I mean, and this is the ignorance of us. We would say, watch the arrivals or watch the. But when you ask a brother or a sister, today's generation, to even recite an ayah of the Quran, they wouldn't know how to do it. Bro, I'm not gonna, it is. If it is, whoever's listening, no offense to you, and quite frankly, I don't care, right? But anyway, cut the long story short, there was a guy.
No offense, but I don't get.
What's the point of saying it then? Just say what you're gonna say then, innit? You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying, right? But there was this so-called Peter, right? Okay, in Pakistan, right? Okay, in Pakistan, young lad, right? Gone 2, right? I don't know what he's doing. He doesn't even know how to say Subhanallah, right? And people are calling him the next Peter, mate. What is wrong with you people? What makes him so special? Huh? War 2 Peter? Or War Jim Peter? Jim. You see that little video going on with Jim, yeah?
Yeah. They're using these Peters, isn't it, to protect themselves from whatever the evil's out there.
It's look, you know,
you know, I mean, like,
bro, subhanallah, you know what? Who died and made this person a prophet, man, or this person a saint, man? Didn't the Prophet says, you know, after me there will be no prophet. After me there will be no prophet.
This is the point I'm coming to. The point I'm coming to is, regardless of arrivals in the all that stuff, right? Regardless of all of it stuff, and it may be true. Some bits it may be true, but some bits may be far-fetched, right? My point, what I'm coming to, is this, right? Is that we're very easily in what's the word? We're very easily not influenced, but
duped.
Yeah, there's another word I was thinking. But yeah, we're easily convinced. We're easily convinced, right? Like, it doesn't take much to try and convince someone that, you know, Illuminati's coming for you and that you need to put your tinfoil hat on and all the rest of it. Like, people are very easily led. It's like blind leading the blind, unfortunately, sometimes. And you know, we need to wake up. We need to wake up and not be sheep. That's the thing.
Okay, I'm gonna put another one out there. What about Satanists and the Church of Satan? That's open. That's prevalent. That's in your face.
Yeah, but that's going to be there, though.
No. Let me speak about the Church of Satan. Okay, so these are devil worshippers, yeah. And actually, to elaborate that, yeah, there are people out there who will worship Shaitan. You know, like for example, there is. This is known. Like, give an example. Fortune telling and soothsayers. What do? They sell their soul, yeah. And even Allah mentions this in the Quran, where if you sell your hereafter over something, you know, it's called sorcery and magicianry, isn't it? You know, subhanallah, it's so acceptable today in society, and it goes back to knowledge again. We are so into, you know, the it's not particular people. I think, you know, look, Shaitan is a sworn enemy, right? And he knows us better than we know ourselves. Yeah, he was around since Adam alayhi salam was blown. The ruh was blown into Adam alayhi salam. He knows us inside out. He'll know our weaknesses. He'll know our strengths. He'll know everything. You know, today we're just little toys for him, man. The biggest challenge were back in the days for him when Adam alayhi salam was sent on the earth, and then the prophets and that nation. Bro, look, at the end of the day, even Shaitan was walking in a different footstep and a different path when Umar al-Khattab was walking, bro. That's how strong these guys were and yaqeen when they had with their creator. Yeah, to such an extent, Umar al-Khattab, when the earthquake was struck, he struck his sword right there, and it stopped shaking, and he went, "Have I done something wrong here, my lord?" Yeah, you know, imagine their mentality, bro. It was their mentality, bro. They didn't allow them emotions get the best of them, and Allah keeps on telling us, use your akal, not your emotions. Yeah, because today's society, we are affected by emotions. When you play with people's feelings, bro, you can easily influence them to a different direction, and Shaitan has played a massive part of that. Coming to devil worshiping, it exists. Because why? Because Allah even says that, you know, a person who's you know, done magic on even the family member or a certain individual, or even done some sorry, has taken their abode to the hellfire. You know, because why? They've took Shaitan as their Rabb. Yeah. So devil, this is different. This is not Illuminati. You know, there are places in America. It's in Texas actually. There are people literally in open. They've got they don't call them churches. I can't remember what they call, man. But they've got places where they literally do the whole devil worship, bro. Yeah. It's mental, man. You know.
Have you heard of a guy called Aleister Crowley?
No. Rings a bell. Is he
Right,
devil worshipper in America? Yeah.
Well, no. He was in England, right? And this is like 1940s or something, right? So Aleister Crowley was known as like an occultist, like real, like he's like known as the father of the occultists in the UK, right? And he was all about this, and he had this mantra where he was like, do what thou wilt, something like that. Do whatever you want, right? And it was literally that's what devil worshipping is all about. That's what I mean, I've met Satanists before, right? I was in Newcastle University Islam Society, the Discover Islam Week, and Satanists came to the marquee, right?
Yeah.
And so they were like, okay, you're Satanists. Tell me a little bit about you because I'm interested to know what you're all about. And he was just basically Satanism for us. It's just all about your carnal desires. Give in to your carnal desires, your base desires. Give in to all of it, right?
Pure shaitan.
And you're like, and I just said to him, I goes, that. So you are literally devil worshipping because that's like, you're literally worshipping whatever your desires are, and shaitan plays on your desires. And I goes, do you not think that's dangerous though? Because if everyone did that, then you're opening the doors to anarchy. You're opening the doors to all sorts of like forbidden things within society. And it's like probably, but that's the way my philosophy is do what you want. And you're like, this is crazy, man.
So they are out there. Now look, the thing is we haven't actually established yet what are or is the Illuminati.
It's this, bro. It's the whole
What is that? Now come on. What is the Illuminati?
It's that, bro. Like that sign, yeah, where people do
Jay-Z
this.
Rockefeller.
Someone's gonna tell you about this, yeah.
Yeah.
Jay-Z Rockefeller, right? Well, you do this, yeah, but only one eye can be seen, right? And there's like loads of people do that as well, like the devil's horns. People do that sign a lot as well. And it's all these little different signs that people have, like as part of this eliteness. I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. This is what people say. It's just like I don't know exactly what it is. I don't even know whether it's true or not.
Allegedly. Do they run the world? What is their objective? Who are the Illuminati?
I don't know, bro. I honestly don't know. Do they rule the world or not? Maybe.
Bro, if they rule the world, okay.
Maybe people have got their own agenda on what direction the world is taking place. But you can't start saying stuff like that. Like, I don't know how. Like, like how do you?
We all know.
When they say when you talk,
global community controls 99% of the wealth. So effectively, they do control a lot of what happens in the world. So what do you have to say?
What do you mean? Say that again.
So 1%, okay, of the global community earns or owns 99% of the wealth. Okay,
is that true? Is that true?
Based on what? Where's that evidence? Sorry, say 1% of the community of what? Illuminati? Did you say
1% of the world? The 1%.
My master.
The 1%. Yeah. 1 second. Yeah. The 1% owns 99% of the wealth in the world.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, okay. My point is this, right? So if what people are saying is that the Illuminati, while you were away, we were talking about who are the Illuminati. We haven't even established that yet. So Sohail was saying some people who give signs, the Rockefeller, all that other stuff, right? What I'm saying is what I've heard people say is Illuminati run the world, but who are they? Are they the 1%ers?
Oh, okay? Mate, no, you know what it is. Listen, I hear it also. It's not the Illuminati. Apparently, it's the Rockefellers. They've made the money currency, all that sort of stuff. Listen, when it comes to money, all that stuff,
Rockefeller Records.
Yeah.
Rockefeller Records.
Yeah. Not Rockefeller Records, man. What they call, man? Hold on, with it. We've got a comment.
There you go. John's on point,
What's John saying?
He's not on point.
The old logo had an eye in it. I wonder if this is the Illuminati. John! Bro,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Watch out for IDC because it's got an eye in it, mate. Do you know what I mean? There
you
go,
know
mate.
Who designed it, don't you?
Huh?
You know who designed that logo, don't you?
I didn't design it.
You did design the logo, didn't you?
The old one, no. Kirill did.
All right, fair enough.
But look, where's he gone anyway? He's undercover in Illuminati, him, mate.
Bruv, I don't know, bro. I think we're just... It's just like at the end of the day,
it's fine. We look.
You know
my
what's-
point is, we shouldn't disregard the whole conconspiracy. That's my point.
I don't. But I just think
Forget
you should
put the
take it all with a
conspiracy
pinch
to
of
one
salt.
side.
We've
Put the
established that
conspiracy to one side. Listen,
we've established Satanism and the Church of Satan exists. We established that the world is run by the elite, right? The one that earn or own most of the economy. Okay, bro.
No.
We've established media spreads like
Where's all the-
wildfire
listen,
and
what-
control
who-
people's minds. Where are we going? Where is this going? Well, how can we ignore these things? I'm just saying.
interesting.
It's in your face.
Interesting. But first of all, regardless, it's very interesting. But if you look at the actual original source, who's running the economy today? Everything that's coming, it's production of the Muslims, mate. It's coming from Muslim land, mate. Coffee is created by Muslim. All that sort of stuff is come from mathematics, come from Islam. The Dark Ages, all this sort of stuff. Who talks about that, bro? If you really do this history right now,
What's that?
Origins. I'm with you. The origins of economics and some of the mathematics involved.
yeah,
are
who did it come from?
From Muslims, but that's not.
Yeah.
No one cares about that, bro.
Yeah, but who's controlling the money now, Umar? That's the point.
Regardless of, okay, yeah. So we understand this. Okay, so we understand. So this is where we're going through. But that doesn't mean that there is a party out there called the Illuminati. What's happened is basically it's been taken from the Muslim land. Yeah, it's given to the so-called Romans of today. Yeah, where they dominate and mate. That's all it is.
Do you think the Illuminati call themselves the Illuminati?
No, they don't.
Do you think they're like
Elites call themselves the elites, eh?
Bruv, they call themselves whatever they are. That's that. We don't even know who they are. If you had that much money, wouldn't you go about make it your business to be unknown? Wouldn't you? To carry on controlling and
Like Batman.
manipulating? I'm just saying that's what you would do. Why wouldn't
No, but
you?
if you've got
Yeah,
that much,
but hold on.
But then if
hold
you've
on.
got that much,
It's
okay,
so
listen.
clear. If you've got
Listen.
that much wealth, it's obviously so clear within society that everyone knows who you are. Everyone knows it's you. Like, how are you gonna hide that?
Exactly.
How are you gonna hide that?
Okay, what if you
But not
own
only-
the banks? What if you own the media outlets? What if you own social media?
Yeah.
What if you control it? You have a hand in it, right? You can manipulate it, right? Who's gonna know you? You're going back to the 90s with just telephones. Back to the 90s with telephone and on the code, mate. No cameras. Yeah, I mean.
Okay. Now that we established the West, yeah, let me tell you something about now. So would you say China is part of the Illuminati as well?
Do you know what? They're not, because they're not white. Said it. I said it.
You said it
There you
loud.
go.
You said it
I said
loud,
it loud.
mate.
I said it
What
loud.
do you
Loud.
mean?
You didn't.
Okay.
You didn't even stutter.
I didn't.
So do you know that China have their own sources of the internet? Yeah. They can't even use Google in China. Do you know that?
No,
They
come on.
can censor the internet in China, like any country. Yeah.
Right. So would you say that's controlled by Illuminati?
No. That's their censorship.
So that just ends your whole topic in general, innit? So what makes you say that someone big out there in the West, yeah, is controlling because it's some part of Illuminati? That just ends your debate. Ends your debate anyway. Because if you go to China,
Yeah.
China government, not Illuminati, no elites, they're controlling the people. South Korea, you can't even access the web, mate.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you. Go on.
So is this Illuminati then? No, it's not. It's what's he called, Kim Jong Un, mate, with his funny backward side patterns. Yeah, you know what I mean. Looks like Hassan.
Easy, bro.
Yeah?
Easy. He's gonna come for you, bro.
My heck.
Easy.
But look, it's in your face. And look at
How
this.
in the face, bro?
I'll even-
I'm giving you something to consider, bro. So
The
is Kim Jong Un an Illuminati?
I don't know where we're going with this. I'm
telling you-
lost right now.
I'm
I'm
telling
so
you
lost
that-
right
listen,
now.
all
All
I'm
I'm
saying
saying
is,
is,
I'm telling you
arrivals
that, mate.
back in the day.
Chokarial, Bakwan Bankar. Listen, I'm
the Prophet
telling
Sallam.
the Illuminati because he ain't got nothing. He ain't got nothing to bring.
It's bakwas. The Prophet Sallam is bakwas.
That's not what I said. I said, no, you were interrupting me. You've been
You know-
unprofessional again.
Okay.
So listen to me. Don't play like that.
Sallam, he had magic done on him. Okay, they blew on 11 knots. Okay, in
Right.
Satan, they believe that the number 11. Okay, and this is one of their signs, like this. Okay,
Yeah.
it's a part of their
Ooh.
religion. Yes,
Ooh.
guys,
Ooh.
get with it, man.
Who?
Get-
Listen.
Hold on.
Bro.
Who said that? Who said
Husky.
that? Sorry.
That's well documented. It's in the
Ooh.
actual documentary that we've got on the
Who-
TED Talk. If
Who
wanna
are you
share it,
talking about? Who
I'm
who
talking
does this? Who are you
I'm
talking about?
I'm talking
Talk
about.
about Satanism, bro.
That's tribute. That's Hunger Games, bro.
That's there you go again. It's on Hunger Games as well. It's been cross-referenced on Hunger Games.
Who
Sohail,
are you talking about?
Worms here.
Who is they? Who are you talking about?
I'm just saying, we haven't established.
Okay, but
Who are you
listen,
telling me? One second, Omar, 1 second, hold on. So you're telling me, Husky, anyone who does this is Illuminati? Is that what you're telling me?
No.
What are you telling me?
I'm saying it's not the science. Okay, you cannot ignore history. It might not be in your face, but there's subliminal messages do exist. You cannot ignore that either.
well,
I don't disregard that.
You
Have you
can't
ever
be
watched a movie?
blindsided
Have you ever
to
watched
it.
a movie called National Treasure?
I think so. I'm not sure who's in it.
With Nicolas Cage. He does like the Declaration of Independence, and they steal the Declaration of Independence, and on the back of it there's a treasure map and all the rest of it. Have you,
Oh, it's a kid movie. Might get into that. Sorry.
It got a sequel. It got a sequel. It's like, you know what I mean? But even there, they talk about the Freemasons. They talk about all that secret society and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's big in America, to be honest.
Do you know, we've actually got a comment here as well about Freemason. So there's she says she's a caregiver and one of her clients was a Mason, slowly dying in bed. He took a shahada as she explained to him everything, and very sincerely said thank you. About 2 months later, she had a dream of him laughing, and
wow.
that very day he died, mashallah.
SubhanAllah.
She carries on to say, we never know who will get Allah's mercy. May non-Muslims start educating themselves about Islam. This COVID-19, I believe, is deliberate and the world is changing. And I hope we do too, growing closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
I mean, that.
I don't think you can say, that, I don't know for sure. You can't say about that. Things like COVID-19 is deliberate or anything like that. And I honestly don't know the situation with that. You know, it could, you know, Allah's qadr as well at the end of the day. And like, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know this. That's an allegedly thing and saying it or whatever. I don't know. It's really
Allah's allowed it. That's the main thing. If whatever's happened, it's happened because of Allah's permission. That's all we look at it. But inshallah, hopefully there'll be a positivity out of it.
But people do say that AIDS was population control. You know, there's like these kind of theories out there that AIDS was population control.
Bro,
that's out there that people have said that and stuff like that. But again, things like that have been said. Whether it's true or not is another story.
Illuminati, mate. Still going, mate. Illuminati, mate. You know what I mean? Still talking about this nonsense.
Illuminati, we won't stop.
Ebola, you know, listen, the Prophet says there'll be major diseases out there. Yeah? Disease will become widespread. Yeah, this is a hadith of the Prophet. Disease will become widespread. And alhamdulillah, look, this is part of a disease, yeah? Whether COVID exists or not, Allah knows best. But the fact that Prophet even prophesied this, why are people not spending their time and energy in looking at what our Prophet, peace be upon him, said, instead of looking at dumb twats like Nostradamus and all these sort of stuff, yeah, or making allegations, yeah. Yes, maybe one or two may come very interesting and come a little bit more to a light, but they're liars, man. Because why? The Prophet said himself. So before the Dajjal arrives, there will be 30 Dajjals. There'll be 30 Dajjals arrive, yeah, before the actual Dajjal appears, yeah. And we all know the story about the Dajjal, yeah. You know, where you know, a companion of the Prophet ﷺ, he was a Christian Christian revert. He was Tamim ad-Dari, yeah, where he was traveling with his companions. The boat ended up through a storm, ended up going a different route, ended up in an island, met Al-Jassas. We'll talk about this, inshallah. But look, at the end of the day, the Dajjal is real. We know the Prophet ﷺ pointed at the east, somewhere in the east, yeah? Where in the east that is, only Allah has the knowledge of that, you know? But the Prophet ﷺ pointed that he's somewhere in the east. He is locked up, his hands chained, and his feet shackled. This is what we know about him. His hands are chained and his feet are shackled. And when he met Tamir ad-Dari, you know, and they were scared, because imagine you meeting something, or you know, I don't know if it's a human being, but they didn't know where it's back to front, whether it's back to front, because it was just covered in hair, and this specific individual was called Al-Jassas. It was covered in hair. They didn't know whether it was the front or the back. And they spoke to them. Who are you? They says, we are, the companion says, we are the companions, and we've lost direction. He says, I'll take you to this island. They went through this island and they thought there was...
Sorry, bro, let me just stop you. Let's do Dajjal another topic.
Yeah, we'll do that another
Let's
topic.
do another topic because it's a big topic in itself, right? In fact, it may be part 2 of this one, right?
We might have to do an all-nighter for this one, like.
It may be, bro.
Get your
But
coffee-
I mean, we're coming
get your
to the
coffee
end
down.
of the show. They're coming to the end of the show, and I just want. I think there's takeaway messages that we need to have. That's the main thing, right?
You know what? Can I just say one thing? Sorry.
First takeaway message is I think this guy believes it.
That's exactly what I was not going to say. So what I was going to say was I'm actually been playing devil's advocate because I didn't want one-sided. I didn't want there to be a one-sided show where we just sat here bashing people. I want people to like feel free to share their ideas and thoughts about what they think of the Illuminati and world conspiracies and things like that.
You're good.
We're willing to listen. We're not going to point the finger and laugh and put.
No, I mean, look, I don't necessarily disagree, right? Yeah. But my point is this. My point is as follows.
Yeah.
Is we just need to be a bit smarter. And even if there is this whole New World Order, people ruling the world and all that stuff, if there is all these conspiracy theories and the rest of it, like, okay, but that doesn't mean you should forget your Lord and know that Allah is the one that has ultimate power over all things. These are important key points, right?
Yeah.
These are very important for the whole thing. Is that doesn't make that should not you shouldn't. What I'm basically trying to say is don't delve so deep into it that you lose your iman, right? And number two, like don't delve so deep into it that you forget that the Prophet of Islam gave us prophetic guidance on how to deal with certain things, like the Dajjal himself, right? Don't stop. Like I said, that example I gave, right? It still sticks in my head, bro. I remember where we were. I remember even exactly where we were at the time, the day we stood outside getting some food, right? And the brother said to me, "Yeah, watch this Arrivals, bro, man. It was crazy, man. Like this and that." I was like, "Yeah, but do you know how you got to learn about the Dajjal? You got to know about this stuff." I was like, "Yeah, but do you know how to protect yourself from the Dajjal if he comes? You know what you're supposed to do?" "No, I don't have a clue." It's like, well, what's the point of you delving so deep into this stuff when there's more important things for you to, invest your time into? That's my key message.
What you saying, Omar?
Alhamdulillah, just like I say, it's very, just like to add a little bit more, it's very interesting what, this whole Illuminati. I know I've just been on with a bit of banter and stuff. Listen, it's still Illuminati in my opinion, right? I've killed it. There's no need for you to go into it in depth and talk about it now. All I'm saying is, look, if you want my honest opinion, listen, brothers and sisters, honestly, from a brother to a brother, from a brother in Islam, I honestly would like to say to you is that, look, don't waste your energy on these nonsense. Yes, it can be very interesting and it can be quite, drawn towards, something that, okay, let's look into it. Don't bother. People today talk about how Islam is all age and they talk about it as backwards, right? You have the talent. You have the knowledge. If you can spend 3-4 o'clock in the morning looking at this nonsense, yeah, you have a job to do to turn around and tell people, actually, Islam is not an old religion and it's not a backward religion. It actually gives us the answers of what you are calling as a suspicious or a theory today. The Prophet ﷺ have given us tools, and Allah has given us tools and weapons to prepare for us when the Dajjal does appear. When that happens, Allah knows best. Look, if there's a saying, whoever puts their trust in Allah, there's a dua which is Hasbi Allahu wa ni'mal wakil. Hasbi Allahu wa ni'mal wakil. Whoever puts their trust in Allah, whoever puts their faith in Allah, Allah will open doors for them that they couldn't imagine. Be like Musa, be like Isa Islam. I'm not saying people are perfect. We are going to make mistakes. And Prophet ﷺ told us that the son of Adam will be a sinner. As you know, we'll always sin, yeah. But our job is to strive to be better Muslims for the future of tomorrow. We have to show them that we are that example, and that example can only be by you practicing in the house, so they can look at this beauty that they'll hold today. Yeah, I've had, we have kids that I can talk about who didn't even know who their creator is. They're talking about their creator has been Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Parents, you have a duty. Spend your time, You have enough. There's no excuse. Allah's, we're in a house at the moment. If we got time to spend on Facebook, hours on it, decades of it, of posting and putting nonsense and stuff and watching X, Y, and Z, yeah, you've certainly got time to put an hour away or 10 minutes away about reading Quran. And if you can't do it, and if you don't want to read it in Arabic, certainly you don't need wudu to read it in English, but at least understand. If you want Allah to talk to you, read the Quran. Allah's talking to you direct in that book. Yeah, listen to what Allah's telling you. He's giving you commands and rules to how to make your life. And Allah says, and the Prophet ﷺ says, Allah says, sorry, let's rephrase that. The one who goes against Allah and His Rasul will have indeed a depressed life, a miserable life. So you want to talk about mental health, yeah? You will continue having it, whether you're a male or female. You have a different agenda, all the best. Go for it, yeah? But you'll continue having a depressed life until you come back to your original source, your original roots, which is the Quran and the Sunnah. Because Allah has put that challenge, not me. And if you think online, open up that book and I challenge you to read it. It tells you, Allah says, the one who walks away from my obligations and my rules will indeed walk with a depressed life. You want your life to be changed. You want your life to be happy. Trust me, it's never too late. The doors of, the sun hasn't risen from the west. Oi, oi. Oi, oi. What's going on there in the background, bro?
Illuminati, baby Illuminati, bro. Running everywhere, man.
They're coming for you, bro. They're coming for you.
I have to protect the soul right now. I was like, don't come in the camera, little girl. The Illuminati could be watching.
Alhamdulillah. Give my love to her, mashallah. You know what I mean? But
man.
no, honestly, on a serious note, sorry, I know I go on a bit too much, but please, I can't stress this enough. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you tools and weapons. Use that knowledge, man. I came from, and I'm not someone who's come from an educated background. I came from the bottom. But what made the difference to me is I made that effort. I made that effort to change my life. I made that effort to spend time to read the Quran, listen to what my Creator tells me, follow what the Prophet says, and find that and use it. Sometimes I go on social media to look at some beneficial sources. So there is some good aspects for it. Not saying don't use it, but don't look at nonsense, man, because you're just wasting time. And there's something you can't bring back. One thing is valuable is what? Time. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that in the Quran, where what's that ayah called in the Asr, yeah, man is indeed lost, yeah, in time man is indeed lost. Time is so valuable, and you can't take that precious time. Once you've lost it, you can't have that back, man. So use it for a good cause and make a difference to the future, man, because that's what you guys are. You are the future of the youth. But then tomorrow, don't blame the youth. Don't blame the youth of going around giving these signs, yeah? Look at these signs, yeah? Giving around these signs. You've gone around giving around these signs.
Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Was it this or this? Hunger Games.
It's your fault. It's all your fault. Nobody else, your fault. You're responsible for that nonsense.
Was that Hunger Games or was it that? Someone tell us in the comments.
No idea, bro. I don't know. It could have been one. I don't know.
What's this one? What's this one?
That's my side.
There's a handshake. There's a handshake.
That's my side. Easy. What? No, that's not. No, handshake. That's not it. That's not it, bro.
Oh, is it the middle finger? Is it? It's the handshake.
Stop.
Say that handshake.
Listen, can we finish? I've had enough. On that serious note, I would like to say that anything that I said offensive, it wasn't meant, and anything good that is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I actually don't care. But yeah.
Sorry, but I'm not sorry. That's it. That should be your hashtag for life. Sorry, not sorry.
But on that note, Jazakallah khair for listening. I hope it's been entertaining. What are we talking about next week, by the way? So
the Jal, right?
Should we do the Jal, yeah?
Oh, he cut you short. You got to finish your story. The
Jal? No story, it's a hadith, bro.
Joby, I mean, I'm just saying.
I'm saying. So disrespectful, wasn't it? Sort them out, yeah? Let's sort them out behind.
I think inshallah we may do the Jal next week, inshallah, then. If Illuminati hasn't caught up with us and,
If Allah wills, it'll be the Dal next week, inshallah. Yeah?
Inshallah. All right, just to clarify, everything we've said is, allegedly, all right? When we talk about people, it's conspiracies. Like, we don't know what we're talking about. We're just three guys, bro.
We just talking the chat show.
Just
talk. Hold on. Listen, this is the real talk. I don't know what these guys are on about. I was talking real. I don't know what these guys nonsense were coming out with, but mine was real. Do you understand? Yeah. I don't know about their bakwas, but mine was real.
Anyway, if we have offended anyone, if Jay-Z's watching, and I have offended you, right? It wasn't intentional. Come to Islam. Don't reach out to us. Come to Islam, and inshallah, may Allah bless you and your family.
With Islam.
With Islam. That's right. I went, yeah. Anyway, on that note.
Fan right there. He's just a fanboy. Just
proper fan. Proper Jay-Z fan. In case you all don't know, Jay-Z fan right there.
On that note.
Just finish it, bro. Just finish it.
Wait a minute, brother Osama from Milano.
MashaAllah.
That's from Italy. Brother Osama from Italy. Salaam alaikum.
Italy, kick it little Sicily. Wa alaikum assalam.
No, bro, you don't. No.
Do you know who it is?
Yeah, bro, it's Brother Osama.
It's the brother who's on the ritual in Ramadan.
I think it is, yeah. Milano,
Milano.
Yes, it is, bro. Yes, it is.
Nice food.
Bro, take care. We're just finishing. You have to rewind and have a look at from the beginning of the show. And on that note, if we have offended anyone, we do sincerely apologize. Never our intention. Anything good that we said is from Allah. Anything bad we said is from our nuts, from Shaitan, from ourselves. And on that note, Jazakumullah khairan. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant. Astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Brother Hassan.
Sure, no problem. Jazakallah khair, boys. In a bit.